if I watched this first half, I would say this team is not in first. No way, nowhere near first. And it's been a really poor first half from Coventry for sure.
Ipswich, a thorn in this Coventry City team's side. But Coventry, they still lead the league on 51 points. But Ipswich Town, they cut that deficit to just 10 and now are behind Middlesbrough on 41 points, just 2 points behind. Pretty incredible stuff as they have been excellent over the last 2 months. But Coventry, on the other hand, that red hot offense that they've been known for this season, it has cooled just like the temperature. And the Sky Blues' last matches their last 6 matches, compared to their first 18, they have just 0.7 goals per match compared to 2.8, fewer average shots and shots on target, and 0 multi-goal matches compared to 14. So, Troy, what does this come down to? Have teams figured out this Coventry City team and what Frank Lampard is doing, or is it just really hard to sustain that kind of offensive output for the entirety of a season in a competitive league like the Championship?
Can I say both?
Okay,
a little bit
works.
of both. I think teams have started to figure out if you can stay in games that they're going to give you chances, because defensively Coventry aren't great. Offensively, I think when you look at this Coventry City team, I think some of the numbers are skewed. There's an early game victory, 7-1 against QPR, again, which adds to 54, but it's a massive number of goals. I start to think when I look at the players I've written down here, complacency, arrogance. I saw a load of team players that went out there for, I'm just going to make sure I look good today, as opposed to winning the game and getting the job done. And we've played there when there's moments, there's whispers now, we're going to get promoted. People think, you know, OK, it's going to happen now. You start to think about, how does the Premier League look? How am I going to perform there? January's up now. People are being linked with moves. They start to play for themselves. And it just goes wrong. And you would normally think, is this going to be a situation where you lose and you bounce back from it? That's what we've seen the first time. My concern now in the last 6 games has been 2 defeats, both to Ipswich, granted, 2 wins, 2 draws. No multi-goal scorers that you spoke to, no 2-0s, no 5-0s. It's 1-0 wins at best. And it just feels a little bit out that the arrogance is creeping in.
Is it how you see it, Nigel? Is it the arrogance of this group?
I think it's a reality check for Frank Lampard that he needs to freshen up this squad. And it's lucky for him, it's January just around the corner now. And Troy's got a point. Some players might be reading the newspaper and smelling the roses, thinking that the job's done. The Championship is one of the hardest leagues to get promoted from. We just talk about how competitive it is when you just look at the league table alone. Ipswich, to me, have gone about their business. They showed way more desire to want to win this game today, chasing this Coventry side down. I think for me now it's an opportunity for Frank Lampard in this January window to recruit and get players in. Their next run of games is Charlton, Bristol and Stoke. Wow. They need to win those games big time.
One point on that, though. You talk about Ipswich, obviously, they came down for the Premier League last year, had a wobble at the start. You start looking through their bench. Most of them have all played in the Premier League. Most of them are international. So you've got Burns, who came back, Philogene, who they bought from Aston Villa, who played in... Did he play Champions League last year? I think he was involved in the squad. Kajustas, who's a Swedish international. Ashley Young, who you spoke about at the start. Johnson, who played for West Ham. McAtee, who's from Man City, if I remember correctly. Akpom, who they paid £7 million for. When you start to look at the squad depth, now you start to say, oh, that's why Ipswich are there. But if you're Coventry and you're Frank Lampard, you start to say, how am I supposed to keep up this pace if I'm looking at their bench compared to my bench? And that's where Nigel's point becomes even bigger for me with what Frank has to do.
My worry, though, too, the form, there's all these things, all these statistics, how many goals they scored. My worry, if I'm Frank Lampard, though, today was I wouldn't know how you say the word, the disconnection, the way that they were not able to, when they didn't have the football, they didn't know if they wanted to press or they didn't know if they wanted to sit. There's a play where Mason Clark goes to close down and Sakamoto go to close down, Haji Wright drops off. And then Ipswich is able to beat like the whole front line and the midfield line with 2 passes. So there was like a disconnect, almost as if they have never played together before. We're talking about they're midway through the season in first place by 13 points, right, to automatic promotion. Then when they had the football, the goal comes from a crazy giveaway. Mason Clark has it. Haji, instead of going behind and running, because Mason Clark, he comes, they don't understand each other. Terrible ball, easy for the defenders, 1 ball, and they go to score the other way. So it was the disconnect between the players. That would worry me. It looked like they didn't understand what they wanted to do on the day. And you're at home and you're bossing the league. So it was a little bit of, I think, nerves and a little bit of pressure.
That's the other worrying part. They were at home. This Coventry team had not lost yet at home this season. This is a team that we've highlighted for having this high-powered attack. What's been missing for them a little bit? And how do they turn it around in this game to get things off on the right foot going into the new year?
Well, they need some personality in this game. They've been terrible. Let's call it right. It's been all Ipswich. They've got good players in their team, individuals, but it feels like a load of individuals, not a team, which has been what Coventry have been great for at the start of this season. When you have losses, you can react one of two ways. The first time they lost, they went and won 5 games on the bounce. And you're like, OK, a loss, it just happens. They've lost this last one against Ipswich. And it feels to me like that nervous energy's crept in, like, oh, wait, is this where the wobble comes? Oh, is this where people start to catch us? And now you're starting to see they haven't scored over 1 goal in a game, as you say, for a month. They've won 2, drawn 2. It just feels like they're going for a moment where maybe Frank's looking at it himself, Frank Lampard, saying, do I need to go and get 1 or 2 players in on loan, maybe from a Chelsea from the Premier League, have a little bit more quality, but also that ego and that arrogance of, don't worry, give me the ball, I'll show you what to do. Because at the moment, it's waiting, isn't it? That every team's waiting for something to happen. And I just feel Coventry, when they're at their best, they take it to teams.
Yeah, but Ipswich, they've got to be feeling real good, Grell, with that performance that they put in.
They were good. There was only one team that played. Coventry didn't play at all. I'd be worried at home, no personality, no energy. No ideas, really. It's not like you could say, OK, well, Frank and the team are being very pragmatic. There's times where some of them went to press the ball, some of them didn't. Really disjointed. If I watched this first half, I would say this team is not in first. No way. Nowhere near first. And it's been a really poor first half from Coventry for sure.
How has Frank Lampard really unlocked the attack within this group?
And by the way, second time only in the history of this league that the team scored 54 goals through the halfway mark of the season. So that's how many goals they're scoring, to give you perspective. Also, I think players want to play in teams that score goals, where you get the ball, where you know how you're going to score the goals. They get the balls wide. They use their fullbacks. They cross a lot of balls. Second in the most crosses in the league. So they play a good brand of football. They probably were hard done by last season when they didn't get promoted against Sunderland because they dominated them over 2 legs. But fine, they didn't get the job done. So this year he said, OK, no problem. Stick to what we have. We'll reinvent. He's got 10 guys scoring more than 2 goals, which is incredible. So it's not like if they miss one guy, OK, fine, we're gonna have a little wobble here. No. They miss one guy, they put another guy in off the bench, boom, they don't lose a step. So they've been so good, and Frank has been really good since he's joined Coventry. I mean, if you remember last season when he took over mid-season, he went on an insane run, where I think he won like 10 out of 13 or something like that. So hard to make runs in the championship, and Frank is making it look easy at the moment.
That's the key to it. They're not relying on just one goal scorer. Obviously, we just saw Hadji right. It's great. You want your striker to be your top scorer. You want your striker to score goals. But sometimes as a striker, I'm sure these two could tell more about it, you want that burden of pressure taken off you because you want your midfielders contributing. Everyone is contributing. Everyone's scoring goals. Sakamoto has been a fantastic form for them. Last year, we were talking about Rudoni. He hasn't hit the same form and levels as he did last season, but other players have stepped up. And when you say they're a band of brothers, they are truly a band of brothers. When you look at their little fisticuffs after Southampton...
Their little what?
Band of brothers.
Oh.
Fisticuffs.
Oh, I've never heard
fisticuffs.
that for a fight before.
But band of brothers. They had a little fisticuffs at Southampton, and I noticed that all the players were backing their manager, pulling Frank away. That tells you a lot, that all these players, like Grella said, want to play for that manager and they like playing for that manager.